and welcome once again to another edition of our literary program. Well, as we continue to bring for you episodes after episodes of this program, and we continue to chat, to converse, and to find out more of the literary zeal of the youngsters, well, once again, we are in conversation with young minds, young scholars, young students. That's right. And today, I am in the midst of some wonderful three young girls, and they are from Lady Keane College, Shillong. They are from various semesters, that is from third semester as well as fifth semester. And today we will be understanding, knowing from them their literary zeal, why they have chosen literature as their subject, what do they write about, what are their inspirations, etc. So once again, this conversation is going to be an interesting one. So I hope you on the other side will continue to encourage us and encourage them especially by being there on the other side and watching this beautiful conversation. So let me go ahead and introduce them to you. Beside me, we have Batemon Kurba. She is, of course, a student of Lady Keane College. She is in the third semester. We are also being joined at the center by Eva Kuki. She is a fifth semester student of the same college. And we are also being joined by Amisha Bakor Kongwir. She is a third semester student of the English department. So hi there, girls.
Hello, ma'am.
A very, very warm welcome to each one of you to
so
this literary program. So I have just given a very brief introduction. So Amisha, just introduce yourself a little bit more for the sake of all of our viewers who are watching this program.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amisha Bakor Kongwir, and I am from the English department of Lady Keane College. I am currently in my third semester. I am doing literature because I love stories. Ever since I was a little girl, my parents recite me poems, stories, tales of like the old myths and legends. And as I grew up, I started reading more and more, and I fell in love with it more.
Okay, and that's why you are also in the literature background or in the Department of English, right? Thank you. Wonderful introduction, Amisha. Let's come to Eva. Eva, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
My name is Eva Kuki, and I'm currently studying Lady Keane English. And my passion for writing has not been that long, but it has been a savior to me. While I was in class 12, like I was having these mental breakdowns that life was giving me, and literature was the subject that it saved me from that. And I am so thankful for my teachers and my classmates that they have provided this opportunity for me to express myself, to express my writings through them. And yeah, that's it.
That's it. And I'm sure that as we go on in this program, we will explore you a little bit more, and you can tell us a little bit more about your love for literature. Okay, now let's come to Batemon. Tell us, Batemon, about yourself.
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Batemon Kurba, but my friends and other relatives know me as Timon. Well, I'm also in third semester pursuing English honors in Lady Keane College. My love for literature started when I was very young. I grew up with my aunt. Like, she always asked me to, speak in English, do in English and stuff. So eventually that love for English came. Then from then onwards, it just started. And then in the end, I just got high marks in English, I thought, So why not pursue English honors? I went there without having that actual dream. But then later on, I feel like, the teachers of Lady Keane College, especially our HOD and other teachers also, they are very kind of them. And then, suddenly that love for literature came. And then suddenly it just started to me that what if I start writing? Poetry, I started off horribly because I never actually had that love for writing, Then suddenly some sort of, inner voice came to me, be like, Tima, what if you write your own feelings? Because I feel like sometimes some people are tired of listening, because not all of them are good listeners. So what if I write? Then paper and pen became my savior. They became someone who listened to me, my friends. Then obviously my teachers, they inspired me so much. And one of our teacher, he always said, you know what, you should read and write. Reading is the only way which will make you better in writing. So then on I started.
Wonderful. I mean, you'll have all said things from your heart so far, you know. I mean, the way you said that you began horribly. I mean, it didn't go well, right? But then they say reading makes a person perfect, practice makes a man or a woman or individuals perfect, right? So let me come to Amisha. How do you enjoy reading? Have you also started, when did you start reading, and how much has reading really shaped your thoughts?
I do enjoy reading, ma'am. By reading, I get to learn more about different people, what they are thinking, their cultures, their backgrounds. I also learned the sense of being a human. I learned their thought processes, how they deal with how they are dealing and living with the struggles, how they are coping with their struggles. I also
So essentially you write about what?
I write about my feelings.
Okay.
I also write about like the situations going on around the world, like from what I perceive. That's what I write about.
Okay. Situations going around the world. I mean, you all are so young, but you all are so thoughtful already. And Eva, what are your thoughts that you are penning it down? What are your inspirations really?
So ma'am, like my beginning with English, the English language, and my start for poetry, like it started back in class 11. Like I was initially a science student, but like the things that I wanted, it wasn't working out. So during that time, like to express myself, I used to write in my notes app, in my phone notes app, and I used to like write some simple prompts and to elaborate that into poetry.
Okay.
So I think like poetry is something that has saved my life, that has saved me from mental breakdowns when I was in class 11, as I
that's
said.
what you said, yeah. What were you going through really, if you can, you know, share with us? You have said it twice so far that there was a mental breakdown. Was there something personal? If it is too personal, we don't want to listen, but if it is something that was caused by an external or environment or the situation, maybe you can share with us.
It was not that personal. Like I think I was too naive in choosing the subject.
Okay.
And also like the change in environment. I was an introvert. I still am, but I'm like doing my best. And yes, like also the subject and the environment.
You know, so it was more related to academics.
Yes.
I think this is a pressure, right, Batemon, that many youngsters like you are going through actually. The pressure of the unknown that lies ahead. Right, because you all are not sure really after you complete your degree, or can you study further, or what should you study, what you should choose. So does that also trouble youngsters so much so that they are actually penning those thoughts down nowadays?
Yes, ma'am. I think for many youngsters nowadays, that think that, you know, I'm pursuing this degree, but what will I do next? It's kind of confusing to them, and it's like a question to them. I feel personally, because I'm also in NCC, so basically it has always been my dream to do NCC, but what's behind NCC? See, that's a question, because I've always dreamed of being a cadet. Apart from being a cadet, I don't know. So this is what I write, no, my problems, and then also heartaches and all, and what's going on in the world. It's like crazy and very hectic in this world, you know, what is happening around the world. So I write about those things, which maybe will give dreams and hopes to other people also, who's maybe
and make you feel lighter also.
Yes.
Right?
Basically, writing actually saved me. That's why whenever I read or write, it tends to make me, you know, emotional sometimes. That when I write, I usually cry, or, you know, writing is one thing that you can't write when you're really happy.
Okay.
For me personally, if I'm not sad, I won't be able to write nicely.
Okay.
But when I'm very sad or very lonely in some days, you know, those days, bad days, those days are what makes me a good writer.
Okay.
So I'm also writing books, but I haven't finished.
Oh, you're writing a book?
Yeah.
What is that book all about?
It's actually about a story about two people. They actually were young lovers. They started their liking for each other.
So it's a novel basically?
Yes, ma'am.
So is it based in the context of the people here, of the situation here?
Yes, ma'am. That, the pressure that they're having, academics pressure, and then the society pressure, and the family pressure.
Okay.
Which maybe one day they end up breaking out, or maybe they'll...
So how far have you reached while as you're in this writing?
I think 60%, I can say.
Okay. And you plan to, publish it someday, maybe?
Maybe
Get a
next
good
year
publisher?
I can publish some things.
Wow, that's wonderful to know. I mean, this is really, really amazing to know that you're already thinking that far. And that is important, right, Amisha, because you are writing, but sometimes you also wish others you read. Do you want to share your thoughts really, or do you want to hold on to them so close? But does it really then make sense? Because you're writing your own poems, and poems are to be shared. I mean, like all great, poets who have written, it was their feelings too, but they've shared and we today enjoy it.
Yes, ma'am. They are very brave for that. But then, like some poems, some people wish to keep to themselves because they are very deeply personal, or maybe it just wasn't the time to start publishing it. They aren't over those heartbreaks or heartaches yet. But then there are some poems which people, or me, which we can share, which we're feeling, but there are some poems in which we feel brave to share because we are very confident in them too.
Because you feel that if you share, what will others think? I think that worries most of you, isn't it? What others will think about you.
Exactly.
Is that pressure very dominant sometimes?
It is, ma'am, very.
Yeah, Eva, what about you? Does that bother you sometimes? Oh, what others will think? Are we leading the life, are the youngsters of today leading their life more with the concern of what others may think of us?
Yes, ma'am. Nowadays, the youngsters, they use social media for their source of entertainment, and I think also because of that they have this inferiority complex and that's why they don't want to share their thoughts through writing and stuff. And I believe poetry is the essence of human nature, and I feel as a young people, as a youngster, we should be able to express ourselves.
That's what you're doing, you're expressing yourselves, and sometimes you don't really want all of your works to be read by others because they're a bit too personal, right? Yes. Okay, we can go on and on chatting, actually really conversing, but now let's take this break where I want to listen, where all the viewers out there who are watching us right now would like to listen. Let's start with you, Batemon, what have you brought for us to read it out for us?
For me, actually, I write for my personal experiences, and there are days that I'm scared to even speak to people about my feelings, or telling my friends also. It's not really great. Like I said, that pen and paper have been my savior or my friend.
Right. So what have you brought for us to read it out for us right now?
So there is 2 poems. Actually, one poem is about a person I've actually liked for many years, but then that person never existed in a way sense. It's an imaginary person that I fell in love with, because falling in love is really not easy in this generation, I can say. So having someone just say maybe this person can help me with writing. I created that person. So basically I wrote 6 poems about him. About this particular person. I wrote 6 poems, and that poem is called 6 poems. It's the last poem I wrote about him. And the other poem was, I wrote that poem when there was a case in Kolkata, that doctor who got raped and murdered. So that has actually affected me so much that I was also even scared to even get out of my house till the point, which made me what if I write about that?
Okay, so can we hear one of what you have written right now?
Yes, ma'am. So I think what I want to make the world listen is that the poem called Are We Safe? Because this poem, like I said, it's very emotional. When I wrote this one, I really cried a lot. So it started off like this. The news channels are busy showing what's going on around us. We're just here watching and saying, what a cruel world it is. Seeing the victims getting criticized for what they're wearing, then the culprits roam free. Men are becoming beasts, raping and murdering women as if we're nothing. Why is that wearing less clothing is considered bad, but raping and murdering isn't? Why is that walking alone in the street is scarier than getting chased by a bear? Why are we choosing to be stuck alone with a bear in the jungle than walking alone at night? Why are the men who's supposed to be a protector for the women are now blood-sucking mammals women fear most? Why can't we women roam free? Why is that he, our father, raped his own girl? Aren't fathers the protector? Aren't fathers supposed to fight if anyone touches his child? Isn't he supposed to take care of them rather than being the fearful being? Why did men turn the devils and hurt angels who don't even know what the world looked like? How can we be safe when our own blood kills our own? Why are people criticizing women? What was she wearing? Why did she even walk alone at night? Why did she walk with a man? But why can't they say, men should protect a lady from the beasts instead of being the beasts? So this poem
Really,
actually...
I think it speaks the mind of many. Yeah, like, these are the questions that torments us. I think every woman has these kind of fears, especially in cities, not just cities, anywhere, right? Are we really safe? Okay, Eva, what have you got for us? What are you going to read out for us today?
So, ma'am, I wrote a poem about hope. When things doesn't go your way, there is always the other way that we find hope.
Yeah.
So yes, I'll just start.
Okay, go ahead. And so there is light ahead of darkness.
Yes,
right?
exactly. So I'll just start. The poem is titled Run to You. The way towards the setting sun, chasing the bright star I hasten, leaving my sweat marks behind. I stop, I think, I look the other way, the other end I choose. Dark, cold, a blank horizon of blank purpose. Trudging now the other way, wishes of mysteries and hope for the following day. Yet the star is merciful, as she whispers in my ear, don't be troubled, for the dawn is near, casting a warmth as the sun shines in my hand. Yes,
wonderful, really, really
Thank
nice.
you.
I mean, it makes us all feel good, really. That,
Thank you.
you know, at the end of the dark tunnel, there is still light of
Yes.
hope, right? Okay, now what do we have from you, Amisha?
My poem is titled The Lost Piece. I wrote this during the war, the ongoing conflicts between Ukraine and Russia.
Okay.
And this is how it goes.
Okay.
The world is warm and bright with a cool breeze, and I'm hiding underneath the leafless pink trees. It feels as if this whole wide world is at peace, as if some people aren't struggling to even breathe. What has humanity done to its very own kind, waging wars and committing crimes? Have they forgot they exist to simply be kind, to love and support one another in trying times? And what is going on with these politicians who proposed many ideas for development, failing to honor their promises after every elections, stuck in their own vicious cycle of corruption? Will humanity be able to experience peace, the kind that keeps the mind at ease, free of ongoing anxiety that seeps even through the toughest breeds?
What I understand, all of you all think a lot, right? Maybe that's an effect of the social media also, because everything is so much in the open, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So much of information, sometimes it can be jargon, almost literally, that clamps our mind, and literally we struggle to come out of it. Any quick word on that?
The world is a cruel place. You have to be kind.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what people are going through. You just smile at them at least.
At least, yeah.
People will just decide, hesitantly that, ending my life is easier.
Mm-hmm.
It is not.
Mm-hmm.
There's people out there who loves you way more.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the world needs you. It's not that we don't need you. We really need you.
Yeah, so I think it's therefore also time for you people, the youngsters, to write positive, energy-filled poems, so that you can actually, inspire others also, give them encouragement. Why always it has to be negative and sad and lonely? No? What about AI, let's bring this topic because this is such an interesting topic. Increasingly many of you may be using the AI technology, and in your, if not you all, others are doing it continuously. What is your word, Amisha, about AI technology? Is it taking over slowly our thoughts, our actions?
It does, ma'am. Like most people for their work, they depend on AI for completing, for example, students, they depend on AI for completing their assignments. They research data from AI. Sometimes AI, it's not very correct. Like I've tried AI personally, and they even got the names of the people wrong. They're making it up, so it's not very reliable.
Yeah, it's not very reliable. Eva, have you used AI for for notes preparation, assignments, quick assignments? Sometimes?
Yes, ma'am. Like I have used AI. Like it's funny how the language is a bit different from what we are used to, and I think for using AI for academic purposes, it's not that valuable. I think even the teachers know that. They always say that don't use AI from the start. And I feel like if AI is making our life easier, it is not. I think as a person, we have to make use of our resources. We have to employ our thoughts into that. Because what is the purpose of education if we use only AI, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that comes the question of reading books. How important is reading books, Batemon? Because, for me, the smell of a new book itself, it's wonderful.
Yes,
yeah.
The smell of new books, the smell of old books are amazing. Well, AI, like you said, ma'am, and all my friends said that, it's not reliable and all. I agree with them most, because I used myself AI and then ChatGPT, of course, which is giving way wrong answers than I expected. I could do way better, I could say that. That's why I think that reading is so much better, because, reading, we can get the actual source. The actual answer is there, because the author writes, and they won't write without having the actual knowledge. They won't publish it if it's not original.
Without verifying facts.
That's what. Right? So AI is not as official, but the book
not as intelligent as it claims to be.
Yes.
Okay.
It's called artificial.
Yeah, artificial indeed. Maybe we can have another such discussion on AI, really. But then, as we are almost wrapping up, time flies. In life, time flies. In this program, also, time has just flown. So, as we are concluding quickly, what is it that you're going to read out before we call it a day?
The days are growing shorter and the nights longer. The cold, sickening mist of nostalgia is swallowing me up by its lips. I miss my old, whimsical self, my jovial companies, and the days I bathed in their sunlit glories, sharing jokes and laughters. I miss that light breezy air, its fresh aroma, the air that never chokes me up, so eventually it became my warm comforter. Whenever it is October, I can feel the time slipping away from the grasp of my hand. I'm growing older and older, yet never bolder and wiser, still addressing notes and letters to absolutely no one in particular.
You're still very young. Wonderful to hear you. Anyway, let's come to Eva.
So I wrote this poem. It's a very simple poem that I wrote about the countryside, because as Keats said in his poem on grasshopper and cricket, that the poetry of earth is never dead. So I wrote this poem on account of that. So I'll just start. On plain side, low huts, smokes a festival, memories of it so keen and clear. Wild berries, trails of long trees, whistles of the nearby river, and family cows shedding their dung for a good harvest all season. Stories of legends and myths, words from our elders and grandfathers, as we surround the fireplace sitting on little skin stools, in warm shoes and thick wools.
Okay. Nice, easy poem, I guess, to understand also, right? Yes. And yes, Batemon, what do we wind up with?
It's a poem that's called 6 Poems. So it goes like this. 6 poems, 6 whispers of the heart, echoes of longing that would not depart, unrequited love, a flame that burns so bright, guiding my words through the dark of night. In cherry blossoms pink petals fell, a fleeting beauty like the love I'd tell. Childhood crush, revisited memories of old, and nostalgic ache that in my heart doth untold. Road safety may seem an unlikely refrain, yet in its lines a cautionary tale of love in vain. Nature's embrace wrapped my heart in earthy tone, a soothing balm that eased the pain I'd known. Social issues weighed upon my troubled mind, a world of worries that our love could not unwind. And pink sakura bloomed, a delicate yet vibrant hue, a symbol of love that in my heart forever shines true. These 6 poems, a testament to love's pure fire, a flame that bumps, though unrequited my heart's desire. Though love may not be mine, to hold and to keep, in these 6 poems my heart's longing forever steeps.
All of y'all are basically die-hard romantics, what I can and your work really speaks. I really enjoyed talking to y'all. Y'all are just beginning now, and there's so much to look ahead to. You know, just tread the path that y'all have all chosen with caution, with care, and with a lot of hope. And I'm sure there is something very bright and beautiful awaiting in the near future. I wish all of y'all tons of good luck. Thank you so much for this conversation with Doordarshan here in our studio. And once again, wishing you all the best in your coming future. Let us wind up this program. Thank you. Well then, viewers, that was once again our 3 young minds. And this time we have these young minds from the Lady Keane College, Shillong. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation with us once again, and you'll be looking forward to our next set of young poets who'll be joining us again in the next episode. Until that time, and from us, all of us here, it's wishing you goodbye.